I'll take a look at Introduction to Functions. So we're going to actually make two tabs. We're going to do Solving Inequalities because we didn't make a tab the last time we did it. And then that will take 2 lines. And then the next one will be Intro to Functions, all on the same page because Intro to Solving Inequalities is folded. So it looks like this. So we haven't even cut anything out yet. Alright, so you're going to pause the video and you're going to copy both sides down. Make sure that it fits. So on the left side you have 4 things. So cut your paper in 4 basically. And you're pausing the video and copied each of these things down. Okay, once the page looks like this, now we can get to it. So functions. What are functions? This is a listening check. Underline the title functions. Alright, so functions are relations in which every input x, which you usually see it as x, every input x has exactly, I can't say it enough, has exactly one output y. Usually you say it in terms of x and y, but it really could be any letter. Alright, so is this relation a function? So there are 4 ways you can represent a function. So look at the first one. We have an ordered pair, which is an x and then y, an x and then y. And so remember, each x has to have one output y. But this one, we have x is 1 and x is 1, and then we have -2 and 2. Those are different outputs. But remember, they have to have one output. So no, this is not a function. Let's look at this one. So we're going to look, each one is xy, xy, xy. So we're looking at the x's. None of them repeat, so that's fine. So they all have one output y. So yes, it's a function. It might take a couple of examples, but that's okay. So we're going to look at an input-output table, which is the same as an ordered pair, it's just in a table. So you have an x value and then you have a y value. So let's look at the x values. So -3 has 0. There's no other -3. -1 has -1. There's no other -1. 0 has 0. There's no other 0. 2 has -2. There's no other 2. So yes, this one is a function because for every input there has exactly one output. Let's look at this one. So x is -2 and then y is -1. Then x is -2 and then y is 1. So wait, we have got every input has to have exactly one output. But here we have -2 is going to give me -1 and 1. So that's not true because it has to have exactly one output. So that's not a function. Same thing with the coordinate plane. Go ahead and graph it. Your x value first, then your y value. You're going to graph the points 2, 3, 3, 1, 4, -1, and 5, -3. So just copy that down basically. Alright, join that line. I'm going to make it a line. This is a listening check. Color in the word domain. And the question is this a function? So from a graph, it's really, really easy to see. There's something that's called the vertical line test. Meaning you draw a vertical line, like I'm doing right now, and if it crosses the graph that you have only exactly one time, it is a function. Now just graph an S, it doesn't matter how it looks, and then do the vertical line test. But you see, here it crosses 3 times. So is that a function? No, because it crosses more than once. The final way to represent a function is by a mapping diagram. So every input to one output. But you see this input has 2 outputs. So remember, to make it a function, it can only be one output. So every input to one output. The second example, 1 to 1. So yes. So every input to one output is a function. Very, very important. Every input to exactly one output. So y's can be the same, but not x. That's really what we come across. Y's can be the same, but not x. I'm going to quickly look at domain and range. Domain is an x value and range is a y value. So looking at these questions, your domains are in order and not repeated. Okay? So you have to put them in order and not repeated. So let's do domain first. So you look at your x values only. So you have 1, -2, 1, and 1. So put those in order but not repeated. So we have -2 first and then 1. Because 1 happens 3 times, but you're not going to repeat it. And then you put the squiggly brackets. The range is the y value. So look only at your y's. Put them in order, not repeated. So you have -2, you have 0, then you have 2, and then you have 3. This is a listening check. Color in the no above the range. Again, domain is x. So in order, your x value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because they don't repeat. Your range in order, so 1, 2, 5, 10, 15. They're already written in order. Okay, same thing here. Domain is your x values, not repeated. So and these are already in order, so just copy all the x values down. All right, your range, put those in order. So those are not in order. So that goes -2, -1, 0, 4 in order. All right, domain, that looks like it's in order, not repeating. So you're going to write only 1, negative 2, and then negative 1, and then 1. And then your range, it goes negative 1, then 0, don't repeat it, then 1. So in order, not repeated. We'll do one more. So domain is your X. So here's my input. I have negative 2, 0, and 5. And range, I have negative 1, 3, and 4 in order. We're going to dig a little deeper in the next video. Let's practice.